Hey there everyone and welcome back to the vlog. It is Monday afternoon and I have spent a lot of the day just kind of hanging out doing grad school work, but I wanted to bring you all along for the rest of the week. So let's talk about our TBR for the week because I am really excited about it. I have two books that I've been really dying to get into, so let's talk about them. So first, a carryover from last week, I am going to be continuing on in the audiobook for Four Aunties and a Wedding by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I'm about 100 pages in now, and I am just having a good time with it. I think it's a little bit tougher because this one is a wedding and I feel like I still have like wedding PTSD, and then there's everything going wrong with her wedding. So I just really feel for her in a different capacity and just feel like it's my wedding that's getting messed up, and that's not sitting too right with me, but I'm hoping that it'll get like a little bit more comical so we get some relief in there somewhere. But that is this book. Next, I'm going to be picking up Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman and continuing on with Nick and Charlie and their adventures, and I'm very excited about it. I think that this is just the most wholesome, sweet, and fluffy series. I know that at one point it gets a little bit intense, but for right now I still think that it is just very just warm and fluffy, a good palate cleanser, so I'm very much excited to get back into their story. Okay, and then the two books that I am like dying to pick up. First is Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and oh my gosh, okay. So I read Love Theoretically last year and haven't stopped like gossiping about it because I want everybody to read it because it was so good. It was so well done. The characters, like the spice, like how they got together. Yeah, everything about it was perfect. So now we get to have a werewolves and vampire situation and a forced marriage, like marriage of convenience, I believe. And I'm so excited. Everybody's reviews have been so good on it, and I am going to start this today. So this is going to be the first physical read of the week. And then after I finish that, I am finally going to pick up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is a YA mystery, and I think that it's just going to be so entertaining. Everybody loves this series. I'm way behind on the bandwagon to get for this book, so I am really hoping to pick this one up and continue on with this series and hopefully finish it by the end of February. Since it's YA, I think it'll be a little bit of a faster read, I hope. So we are going to try to work on that and kind of knock it out, but also really enjoy the time with it as well. So that is the lineup for the week and what you can expect to hear me talking about this week, and I'm very, very much looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and get some steps in and start reading Bride. Howdy everyone, it is much later now, but I wanted to give a quick update because I am 125 pages into Bride and am loving it. I think Ali Hazelwood's writing and how she has like the inner monologue of her characters is just so funny. Like, I love the dry humor. Misery is just the best. She is so, wow, I'm just going on about this and I haven't even explained the story. So essentially in this world there are humans, werewolves, and vampires, and there is a very, very fragile like truce between them. Peace is not really there, and so to get a truce between the vampires and the werewolves, they send somebody over as collateral, and Misery marries the alpha of the werewolves to be the collateral. And so we get to watch her go over into werewolf territory, and it is not very kind to her. They really don't enjoy one another as a species and try to keep really far away from one another. But this is not Misery's first rodeo as being collateral, because she actually served as collateral between the humans and the vampires for 10 years when she was younger. So she lived on human territory and was really frightened and had no idea what was going on. But she has just always been like this collateral, always doing the good thing for the betterment of the most of the vampires, like something along those lines. But it is just so interesting because But Misery has her own reasons for kind of going and seeking out Lo, who is the alpha of the werewolves. So she is now in this territory. They have a very fragile relationship, I'd say. It's not going too well at this point, and he is always going on about her scent. And I think that I know what that means, but you know, I'm not here to spoil anything or take any insane guesses, but I am really, really looking forward to watching this relationship develop. And I believe the beginning of the chapters, like under the chapter titles or like the numbers, it has like a quote, but not really a quote, maybe like a thought from Lo. I think that's what it is about like how he's feeling about everything. And I think that's how Allie tells us that Lo is not just like this standoffish kind of guy, even though I could have gotten there on my own. But Lo also has a very young sister, and it is just the sweetest thing to see because she is very sweet. She's one of the only werewolves to have taken to Misery, and Misery is definitely developing a soft spot for her too, and it's just all very, very sweet. So I'm really enjoying it. The plot is pretty interesting. I'm enjoying also how she's putting in some like scientific facts about like the mutations of the werewolves and of the vampires. So she's like, oh, like everybody says that we can do all these crazy things, but it's really just a minor genetic mutation. And that I think is just a nice nod back to the Steminus novels. And also she's like a tech guru, like she's very good with coding and like hacking, and I'm just like, God, this is so great. Like as a cybersecurity girly, this is just so much fun to see, and it's very, very cool. So that is that so far. I'm having a fantastic time with it, and I'm hoping to get a few more pages read before I go to bed, but I can understand why everybody is loving this book, definitely. Very sad because I have to go back to work tomorrow, and I have been off for the past 4 days, and that is just absolutely tragic. I'm very, very lucky to have had the time to kind of reset on everything, and I feel better about going back to work, but it'd be a lot cooler if I wasn't. But yeah, that's really it, and I will check in with you all in a bit to let you all know about any progress I make. Everyone, it is next day now, obviously, and I just wanted to get in a quick update before I go to work because Bride has an absolute chokehold on me. It is so good and so easy to read that I'm just flying through it. I'm on page 183 now, so almost at the halfway mark, and I just wasn't even really trying that hard yesterday to like keep going in it. I just wanted to, and it was just so much fun to read. I love Allie Hazelwood's main female characters because they're always so funny. Like they're just very witty, their humor's kind of dry, and we always get their inner monologue. And I love listening to them because they have such funny perspectives on what's going on. So I love that. And I feel like the plot is really progressing, like the pacing is really good, and I am definitely enjoying that. I feel like it's pretty obvious what's happening, but just like her other books, it's very obvious to everybody what's happening besides the main female character. And so, I mean, it's pretty par for the course. Also, naturally, our main male character, Lo, he is the alpha of the pack, and so this is also her husband now, and it just makes more sense for him to have the adjectives such as big, larger than life, like huge hands that almost wrap around my neck fully, not in the way that maybe that comes off, but actually in the violent way. But I just think that it makes more sense in these books that like this alpha werewolf is so huge, other than like in her Steminus novels where it's like a scientist who's larger than life. Not saying that they can't be, but like in my mind it makes more sense for werewolves to be that big, you know? Oh, but I wanted to say I had to stop reading last night. I wanted to keep reading, but I knew that like they're about to go on a mission together. And you know when people like when they go on a mission together that they are going to have accommodations to stay someplace. And I'm not saying that we're going to get the one bed trope, but like they are going to only have each other on this trip. So who knows what could happen here. So I am really, really looking forward to that, and I'm definitely going to be reading more of it after work, but just didn't want to get like caught up in it because then I really wouldn't have put it down last night to go to bed at a reasonable hour. So that is Bride. I'm thinking it's going to be a 5-star read for me just because I really, really just enjoy Ali Hazelwood's writing. I think that it's so much fun. It's so easy to digest and it just makes me want to keep, like, it's bingeable. Like, you don't want to put it down. So I just really enjoy when a book can like capture me like that. So that's Bride, and that is what I did the remainder of last night and had such a good time with it. And now it is back to work, unfortunately. But we had good time off. We submitted project 2 yesterday for my cybersecurity stuff, and who even knows? Who even knows what's so when I this is just like a mini rant about grad school, so if you don't care, you can skip. But when I started this program, it's like a two-part thing. So you would have like a 10-page paper to write, and then you would have a lab with very thorough instructions and like a lab report and everything. And so now it is only a template that is already mostly filled out. You just have to fill out the information that you get from your lab results. But the lab instructions are just so cut down. Like there is nothing there to kind of tell me like I don't code. I don't. And so when they're like, oh, like put this into Kali Linux, like what specifically do you want me to type in Kali Linux? Because otherwise I'm not gonna get it. Like it's not gonna work for me. So it's just been very frustrating. Yeah, it's been a super frustrating experience, but that's okay. We are gonna do our best and just see what happens there. So that's done. And tonight we have to make dinner and then I'll probably read and that'll probably be it. And I'll be very happy. So let's get to it. Hey there everyone, it is a little bit later on Tuesday now and I just finished walking and reading, so I'm a little toasty, but I made some really good progress in Bride and I feel pretty good about that. We are now at page 237, so about 50-ish pages, and we have had our first like chemistry between the love interest, and I am just so thrilled about it because Ali really does make you wait and like want for it. So it has definitely been building the tension between the two. And we have gotten that resolved a bit, but there are definitely some things that still need to sort itself out. So I am really still enjoying the time with it and just think that this plot is so much fun. So I'm definitely just gonna keep reading this, and again, it's just such a unputdownable book. Like I don't want to stop reading it. So I think I'm just gonna shower and keep doing that. And that is my only update for Tuesday. So let's just go ahead and go do that. Hey there everyone, it is after work now and I have a bit of a reading update for you. So first, I'm about 270 pages into Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I am loving this book. Like, I never want to put it down. I even got like my mini light last night to take out and just put on the back of my book so that Dylan could go to sleep and I could keep on reading. And I should just never do that because it always just messes with my sleep, but I just don't want to stop reading it. It's so entertaining. Every chapter, I'm just like, I want more from these characters. Right now they're really experiencing like their chemistry and just what's really there, and there's a lot there, people, and I just want to keep watching them. The plot is like background right now. I feel like we've got a lot more chemistry aspects going on, but I'm not mad about it. Something just happened where Misery was in a pretty compromising position and Lo kind of just went into like alpha male mode. It was like, what happened, and just like just very protective, and it was amazing, frankly. But yeah, so I have about 100 pages left of this, and I won't finish it tonight because we have book club and I am very excited to see the girlies. But I hope to get a few more pages read of this because I'm really enjoying it, but otherwise I'm definitely going to finish it up tomorrow. And then also, I don't think I've talked about this book at all in the vlog yet, but I am currently listening to, not Dial A, we did that last week. I'm listening to Four Aunties and a Wedding by Jessie Q. Sutanto, and I'm having such a good time with it. I just think that these characters are just so much fun, and it's also ridiculous. Like, as long as you can understand that the plot is pretty ridiculous, because in this one, we are experiencing the main female character. She is getting married, and her aunties had picked out these wedding vendors for her to check out because they were somehow connected to their family. But it turns out that they are the mafia. And they want to, like, take someone out at her wedding. And that is on the back of the book, so that is not a spoiler. But it is just absolutely ridiculous. We have the mafia involved, and Medi is obviously trying to have a nice wedding day. And I just really felt for Medi in this because I just recently had gotten married, and just what a nightmare, what an absolute nightmare if your vendors just turned out to be mafia. And she's freaking out because she realizes that they are going to like take out somebody at her wedding, but what I'm freaking out about is who's going to do her hair and makeup, because this second uncle surely isn't going to do it because he's not actually a hair and makeup specialist. He is a mafia member. And that, I feel like, was very much missed in Medi's eyes, which, I mean, her priorities might be a little bit better than mine, but it's still her wedding day. So we are in the middle. I'm about 45% into the book now, and we are at the wedding day, and the aunties are just kind of up to not really no good in this instance, but they are trying to protect who they think the target is from getting taken out. And there are just, again, a bunch of antics, a lot of silliness going on, very stressful. I do find myself very stressed out in these books because I don't know, apparently I just really care for these characters, and I am just like, what is happening? I almost wish that the story was told from one of the aunties' perspectives, or we got like a POV, like a rotating POV, because we have four aunties. Like, it would just be so much fun to hear the story from their side. And I think that's really what I liked about Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, is that it was an older woman, and so we got like first-hand insight into that delusion from her. And Medi is just way too reasonable. Like, I want to be in the aunties' heads, you know? But I'm still really enjoying the audiobook. I'm going to keep listening to that, but that is where we are there. And those are my two updates. I love how these contrast against each other, and even the tassels, like this goes with the light, and then we have the dark for the dark. And I am just very happy with both of my current reads. So, like I said, we are going to go to book club tonight, so we're going to go walk Scoot now, play with him for a bit, and then go do that, and I will probably see you all tomorrow. Hey there everyone, happy Thursday. It is now like Thursday after work, and I just finished walking, as you all saw, and reading more of Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I only have 60 pages left, so that means I only have an hour left of reading, and I am just so thrilled about that because I am having a really good time with this book, but we just hit the like third act conflict, and trust me when I say that I'm annoyed by it. I get it, very noble intentions, but it does not make it any more bearable, because I have this issue a lot actually in books, and I don't know what it is or what the trope technically is called, and I don't like want to like, this is not exactly what it is, me trying to justify telling you all about this because it always gets me riled up. But I feel like this is something that happens in real life too, where people have almost a reverse savior complex, where they try to tell other people what they want to protect their best interest because you're not good enough or whatever, instead of letting somebody have all of the information available and then deciding what to do with it, and if they are good with that or if they want to walk away from that. And that drives me nuts. Just absolutely drives me nuts, because then are you any better than anybody else? Because no, like if somebody's been telling you your whole life this is what you should do and you want to give them more autonomy, then like why wouldn't you give them all the facts so that they can then make a conscious decision about how they want their future to look? The craziest thing, I'll tell you what, but sorry, that just really gets me pretty darn angry. So that's that. In that, I don't know, that might be like a issue with this book for me. So I'm still really enjoying it. I think it's a good time. We definitely have the chemistry, but the plot is a little iffy right now. I'm not, and again, this is not like a fantasy book. Like this is a standard romantasy with very, and it's totally fine. Like there is nothing wrong with it. It is just like a very basic concept. Like it's not like a high fantasy or anything like that. And I wouldn't expect that, but you should just know that going in. So not a ton going on with the plot since I last checked in, just more around Misery and Lo's development. But that is really it. So I'm going to read the last 60 pages tonight and then finish that up and then start A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So I'm really looking forward to that and want to get at least, I'm thinking about reading Killjoy first because that's the novella and technically it's 0.5 and everybody has kind of said that's how, what is her? Pip. Her name's Pip, and so that's how Pip chooses, like the background for how she chooses her case that she focuses on throughout this entire series. And I think that the background is good, but I almost wonder, because it came out after the series, if it would be better to read the series and then have that experience like everybody else did, or if it even matters. So I don't know. It might be nice to just have like a good little novella and kind of like get me set for going into this series. So we'll see how I feel about that, I guess, tomorrow. But I'm very excited because that's definitely just going to be my weekend plans. Besides, we have a couples double date tomorrow night, which I'm very excited about because we're going to a happy hour. And if you go to happy hour, then that means that you are back home by 7. And those are the kind of plans that I'm here for. Because on Wednesday night when we went to book club, I love my book club people so much, and time just flies by so fast when we're all hanging out and we're always laughing and having a good time, and then all of a sudden it's past bedtime. And so then when it's like past bedtime and then I have to get up early for work, if I get less than 6 hours of sleep, it feels like I have a full-on hangover, and that's what I've been struggling with today. So yeah, that's unfortunate for me. I'm gonna go do like a workout now, like nothing crazy, like a 20-minute arms. That'll be fine. But yeah, I couldn't wake up this morning to work out because I was dead. I was deceased this morning. Oh my gosh. And then I had a bug in my salad today and I just got so upset. Like I had an intense emotional reaction to a very tiny gnat in my salad, but I blame it on the sleep and on the time of the month, and that's just what it is. And now that I have ranted for much longer than I probably needed to tonight, I am going to, like I said, go do this arms workout, and then I'm going to get ready for bed, and then I'm going to finish these last 60 pages. So let's hop to it. Hey there everyone, happy Friday. We have made it and I am so happy. As always, it is the best day. And you want to know why it's the best day? Because you have so much hope for the weekend. You think you have so much time and there's just so much hope going into it. And you still have 2 days ahead of you. So Friday afternoon is truly the best. Like you're just on cloud 9. So what we have going on is I finished Bride by Ali Hazelwood and I am giving it 4.5 stars. And I that 0.5 is really just coming off because of what I talked about last night, and I really just have to stand by that. I still had such a good time with it and obviously did not lower the rating very much, but I just really stand by what I said. So I'm gonna not rehash that and get worked up again, but holy spicy. This is a lot, let me tell you that. And it's just insane. I have not read a book in the Omegaverse, and it is something that I was not expecting. Not that I didn't like it, I wouldn't say that, but it was just intriguing. So my eyes have been opened, and I think that I would like to read more of that. So I have The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson sitting up on my shelf, and that's also another like Omegaverse read. So I might be picking that one up soon because I really, really enjoyed this one. And the epilogue set us up so nicely for another book. And I'm really glad because I found myself really enjoying this world and these characters. So I'm really excited to get more of it. So Allie, if you could just publish that as soon as possible, that would be fantastic. So with Bride done, I am going to be starting another read, and I know I've been talking about A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but first I think that I am going to read the next book in the Heartstopper series. So Heartstopper Volume 3 is where I'm at now, and this will just be like, honestly, I'll probably finish it this afternoon, and then tomorrow I think I've decided that I am going to read Killjoy first, which is the novella, and it's technically, like I said, it's 0.5 in the series, so it is a like prelude. I can't remember the word for it, but it comes before that entire series. So I think I'm gonna read Killjoy first, set myself up well to go into A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and honestly I might finish both today, both like Heartstopper and the novella today, because they're not very long. So that's that. But we are having a very rainy day here in Virginia, and I do not want to go outside and do anything. Took Scooter to daycare this morning, and I know that he's gonna smell like a wet dog tonight, and I'm not happy about it, but I am happy that it'll be all tuckered out. I think I said this yesterday, but we have a double date, so we're doing a happy hour, which means we'll be back by 7, and that means that we are going to watch so much Love is Blind tonight, and I cannot wait for it. I love this show so much because I think it's just the concept is really good, and I love hearing what people talk about in the pods, like the important things that they're talking about in the pods. I really enjoy those conversations, and I really enjoy watching it with my husband because it creates really good conversations between us two. So we try to like put ourselves in their positions and what we would do differently or what we agree with, and like I think that that is just a really good bonding. And so I am just really glad. And then I was sitting there and I was just thinking about how thankful I am to be on the other side of that screen in my home with my husband and my dog and drinking some wine and just having that privilege at this age to be able to just have a life that they're all looking for. And I don't know, I just get really thankful for it because I mean, I am living what I have always wanted, like stability, a great husband, a dog, a house, like time to watch a reality TV show. Like it's just a huge blessing, and I found myself very, very thankful for it. So sappiness aside, let's go read Heartstopper and get even more sappy because I love Nick and Charlie so much, and then we will check back in. So I will see you all in a bit. Good morning, everyone. I say that, but it's about 11 a.m. now, and I have had a very productive morning, but also kind of slow because I am apparently at an age where if I have more than one glass of wine, then I am mildly hungover in the morning, and that is just the most bizarre thing to me. Like, 2 glasses of wine and I just can't even handle it. So that's that. Let me know if you all have experiences like that because that just seems really weird. But what we did this morning is we went ahead and got the chili started. So I'm really excited to have that later and then also not have to make dinner on a Saturday night. So that's amazing. We took Scooty Dude for a walk and we also have the laundry going. So pretty productive. And now I am ready to do something just kind of nice. And I think I'm gonna go walk and read for about an hour and start a new book. But with that, let's talk about Heartstopper. So I read Heartstopper Volume 3 yesterday and absolutely loved it. I mean, it's 5 stars. It's a 5-star series and I just can't recommend you all read it more because it is just the most endearing series. And I feel like it's more of like that coming of age. And a lot of people can probably relate to some, if not all, of the aspects that these characters are going through, because in this book Charlie and Nick, they haven't officially like come out to everyone yet, and so they're trying to figure out how they want to do that because it was very hard when Charlie first like accidentally came out. Like it wasn't supposed to come out, but it did, and he had a lot of really bad bullying that came on, and them just trying to balance like it with and when they're ready for that and just deciding when like it's time to, because it can just be intense. It's not always going to be met with like acceptance. So in this book, they are going on a trip to Paris. So we get to watch them kind of walk around and navigate appearing as friends when they are certainly more than at this point. So I really enjoyed this. There are definitely more triggering subjects in here, so look at the trigger warnings before you go into it. It was just so sad because you just really want to give these guys just like a big old hug and just tell them that it's all gonna be okay, because I mean, it is just so intense and you feel things so strongly at this age, and especially when you're told like, oh, like that's gross, or like people are saying homophobic things. Like I can't even imagine what they go through and how that impacts them. So it was definitely more triggering, I think, than the other books have been up to this point, but still like a really good message. Like I still left the book feeling very like I love them more now. Like I think every installment of this series that I get, I'm going to love them more than when I started. So really enjoy this one. I'm very happy that I read it, and was just like, it's always just so much fun to see it. And then yesterday we watched 3 episodes of Love is Blind. So I did not do any more reading last night, but what I did do, what I'm about to do is hop on the treadmill and start Killjoy, which is the novella in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So this opens up on the entire series, even though it came out after the series. So in this novella, we're gonna find out how Pip decides what case she chooses that is going to be the main focus of the entire series. So I am really excited about that. It's about 117 pages. It shouldn't take very long to read it. So I'm hoping to finish this one today and then also pick up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and make some type of progress in that one. So that's the plan, and then probably do some lunch and go from there. But yeah, let's go walk, maybe do some Pilates after, because I am into the not high intensity workouts right now. I really don't want to get insane. Like I just don't, I can't fathom it. So we're doing low intensity workouts and listening to our bodies, and then maybe check on grad school and see how that's doing, because I haven't done it. So we're gonna check on that after, and I will update you all when it is time. Hey there everyone, it's about 4:30 now, and I just wrapped up reading Killjoy by Holly Jackson, and I ended up giving it 4 stars because I feel like for a novella, there was actually a pretty good story here. This focuses on Pip and her friends, and they're having a murder mystery party, and so we get to watch them as they show up to the house. They have their assignments, they go through the different like clues that they get, and then they have to come to the conclusion of what has happened, who's the murderer. So it was a very fun story. It's a really great introduction into Pip and seeing how her mind works, some of her tendencies, and then also her friends. So I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It was 117 pages, so super quick, but I felt like I got a good gist of what I'm going to get from Pip and her friends in the story. And like I said, this story is also kind of just showing how she gets to the point of choosing her senior capstone project, which we are going to follow her through in the next 3 books. So overall, a really good time with it. Pip is very serious. She gets very focused, and she is definitely portrayed to be the smartest person in the room, and I love that for her. I think that she was very entertaining because of it, and her no-nonsense attitude. I mean, I just relate to it, I think, more than I would like to admit that I do, but I really enjoyed her character and can't wait to get more of her. So, loved it. I'm happy with it, and even more excited now to go into A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Also, I don't think I've talked about this book very much, but I'm listening to it as an audiobook, and I've had a decent amount of time today, and I'm about to go fold laundry and get some more time in. But I wanted to talk about Four Aunties and a Wedding by Jessie Q. Sutanto. And I am really kind of struggling now because everything is just so unbelievable. And like, yes, I am also the person who said if you can accept that it is unbelievable, then you'll have a good time with it. But even having accepted that it was going to be unbelievable, I am still just really struggling because it is just so wacky. And like everything that happens, like it can't possibly go right for Medi. Like this poor woman, like it's her wedding day and she's trying to corral her aunties and her mom, and just to make sure that, because they're in posh London right now, and that is a very different setting from like LA, and they are also Indonesian, and so their customs are very different from the London customs, and so it's just making for a bit more of a fuss than Medi probably wanted to have on her wedding day, on top of the mafia being present for her wedding. So it's just, it's way all over the place. I just feel bad for Medi. Like she can't catch a break. Like I just can't even imagine it, and that's the whole point. You shouldn't even imagine it. But I think it's just a little bit too close to home since I just had my wedding a few months ago and I'm still having like PTSD and like trauma from it. So I just feel for her too much. I feel like to find the story entertaining because I'm just more stressed out for the situation. So that's that. I'm definitely going to finish it. I'm at about 70% through the audiobook now, and this is a super short book. I think, yeah, it's less than 300 pages. So the books are very short. They're fast paced. Like you're definitely getting through them, but it's just, I think this one I like less than Dial A for Aunties. I think I'll probably still finish the series out, but it's just not exactly what I was hoping for, which is sad because I really wanted to. I really wanted to, but that's okay. It'll probably be like a nice 3 stars. So those are my reading updates. It's been such a nice chill Saturday. I am just so thrilled with it. Like, haven't done much. Oh, I did check in on my grad school and I got a solid meets expectations again. So we are average people, and that's all we can ask for in grad school. So tomorrow I'm probably going to focus on that a bit more, but for today I'm going to go fold some laundry, and then hopefully Dill will be back home and the chili will be done and we can sit down and just kind of binge Love is Blind again and just be very happy with that. So that's the plan, and if there's any time left in the night, which maybe, because Jill said he's going to go to bed early and I might read a little bit, I'm going to pick up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and just start reading that. So, sounds good? Sounds good. See you all in a bit. Happy Sunday, everyone. It is like 11 now, and you all saw me go get groceries, and we took Scoot for a walk this morning. So now I am just kind of gearing up to read. I want to paint my nails, and I should do grad school. I should do that, but I don't know if I'm going to. I'm not really feeling it right now, and I just feel like I've taken really good care of myself this weekend, and I'm just not ready to stop that by by handling grad school. So that's that. I know that that is not the most sound logic, but for the most part I put like the important stuff first, like grad school, but I just am not in a state where I really want to do that right now, so I might just wait until tomorrow, maybe after work, and work on that a bit because I don't have any plans this week upcoming, so I don't really feel like I can do grad school. Like that is what I should be doing. So I think I might do that instead. So update on some reading. So I got to chapter 7 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder last night by Holly Jackson, and that is chapter 7 and like 15% of the way in, and I am intrigued. I really enjoyed how this is like laid out because it's mixed media formatting. So we have like the general story. This is third person POV, and we're following our main character, Pip. She's a senior in high school and she's just decided on what she's going to do for her senior capstone project. And I feel like everybody's very right in like Killjoy. The novella that I read yesterday really sets you up well to understand why she chose this case, because what had happened about 5 years ago in this town was these two seniors who were dating. One went missing. Her name was Andy Bell. She went missing, and then a couple of days later, her boyfriend turned up in the woods. He had sent an apology text to his dad and was like, "I'm so sorry, I did it," or whatever. And in Killjoy, we kind of saw her see things being too easy. Like, there should have been more to it, like in the murder mystery game. And so here, everybody was like, oh, like it's an open and shut case. Of course, it's always the boyfriend. And so she just feels like maybe that's not the case. She also had a personal connection to the boyfriend in this. And so she's like, I really feel like I would have known if this guy was a killer. So she is going through the facts of that investigation and trying to understand it better. Not necessarily to prove that he didn't do it, but just to place some like just question on whether he's guilty or not. So it's very interesting. We get to read her logs. So she's going and she is interviewing like a missing person specialist, and then she was interviewing somebody who worked on the case, like who wrote the news articles about it. And it's just very interesting so far. We also got to see her talk with one of the family members of the boyfriend, and just the prejudice that they are facing in this town now, because everybody believes that their son was a killer, and instead of like, I don't know, treating them like human beings, they basically are taking out on that family what they feel for their son. But like, he's dead. He's no longer alive, and you can just see the town. It's been 5 years and there's still like very passive aggressiveness within the town around them, and it's very sad. It is just kind of tragic to pay the debt for one of your family members. So, and Pip sees that too, which I really like about her character. Yeah, her character, I just feel like she's on it. Like, she's ready to rip. Like, as a senior in high school, she is just quick-witted. She is, I feel like, just motivated and ready to just go. So I'm really enjoying watching her do this, and I am excited to get further into it. Again, I'm only like 62 pages into it, so it's not really that far, but I am having a good time with it, definitely, and think that it's going to be a quicker read. So I mean, like, I don't want to zoom through it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I got a fair chunk into it today. So that's the reading update, and now I think I'm going to go do a few of those other things that I talked about and go from there. So I will check back in when I have another update. Happy Monday, everyone. It is now time to close out the vlog for the week, so let's recap on what we ended up reading. So we actually read 3 books in total in this vlog, so that's pretty good all the way through. I'm counting that as a win. So first we started off by reading Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I gave this 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed my time with it. I feel like you all saw that for the most part. I had like one qualm with it, but you know, it can't all be perfect, but really enjoyed my time with it, and definitely can't wait for more in this universe. And then we read Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman, and oh my gosh, how sweet is this series? I feel like I can't describe it as anything other than just like so wholesome. You are just rooting for these characters so hard and you just really feel for them. And I love them and probably am never going to get tired of them. So volume 3 is done and I think I'm about halfway through the series now, which makes me very sad because I don't want it to end. But like I said when I gave this overview, please check the trigger warnings because there is a little bit more of sensitive content in here. Nothing too intense in my opinion, but it might be in your opinion. So just make sure that you're staying safe in your reading. And then lastly, I finished the novella for the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and that is Killjoy by Holly Jackson. And I really enjoyed this and gave it 4 stars. Again, I think that this was just such a good way to open up the series. I'm so glad that I got to read this before jumping into the series and just understanding Pip and her dynamics and kind of what's going on in her head, but also getting to see her friends. So I really enjoyed my time with it. It was a very quick read. So to pack that much story, I feel like into 117 pages was really impressive as well. So very much looking forward to spending more times with these characters in the series. And then the 2 books that I didn't finish reading are going to carry over into next week's vlog, so be sure to go check that one out so that you can see it and see my final opinions on it. But a very unique reading week, I would say, very interesting nonetheless, and was so good just all around. So I hope you all had fun this week, and I definitely did. I think my favorite read of the week, I feel like it's not fair to compare Heartstopper to Bride to Killjoy because they're all in different genres, but so they're all my favorites this week is what I'm saying. They all get gold stars, and that's what I'm going to stick by. And that is it. Let me know what you ended up reading this week and if you've read any of the books in this video, and otherwise I will see you all in the next one. Bye!